big, but at least it's full. This is the 3D equipped house tonight. So it's very good to see you all here. Who knew, right? 3D and film noir. That this match was made in heaven. Okay, the very first 3D movie ever made in Hollywood. You youngsters in the crowd, it was not called Avatar. It was made in 1952, released in 1952. It was called Wanna Devil. The second 3D movie made is the one you're about to see right now. It was released in April of 1953 by Columbia Pictures. If the first one, it was the second 3D movie by one day, because Warner Brothers released House of Wax the next day after Columbia released Man in the Dark. So your first three 3D films were an African adventure, a film noir, and a horror picture. They hadn't quite figured out what to do with this new technology. You're going to see a really weird movie right now. It's kind of a classic noir premise. Those of you who have been to Noir City for 7 years now here in Seattle know that amnesia is film noir's version of the common cold. And this movie, I must have seen this movie when I was a kid at some point. I don't really recall it until I saw it again last year for the first time, I thought. But I wrote a play, a one-act play 2 years ago called An Obvious Explanation that is exactly the plot of this film. It's just weird. The amusement park is in it, the robbery gone wrong, the missing money, the guy loses his memory, and he can't remember where he hid the money. Okay, so obviously I saw this movie at some point, and that is, in fact, your premise. I'm giving nothing away. What makes this very routine story intriguing for us is that, in fact, it is shot in 3D. And you are seeing these people figuring out what exactly to do with this technology. So you are going to see some really goofy uses of 3D. And to me, what's most fascinating about watching these films, some of you I can see now already have your glasses on. It's true. I don't get any more 3D. I don't turn 4D all of a sudden when you have the glasses on. But it's kind of cool, you know. They're always different. Every place I go, the glasses are always different. It's kind of neat. I should collect a pair from every theater where we show these films. The film stars Edmund O'Brien, who's a fixture in noir, and it's, for me, the most spectacular effect in this whole movie is finally getting to see Edmund O'Brien's pompadour in 3 dimensions. It threatens to just spill out into the audience at every moment. And of course you get to see Audrey Totter too. You fill in the requisite crack there. I'm not going to do that. And also the film features one of my favorite villains in noir, the slimy and despicable Ted DeCorsia, who is one of the great heavies. Another guy whose presence in movies is due to Orson Welles, because DeCorsia was a member of the Mercury Players and actually was one of those great people like Paul Stewart last night in The Window, who came out with Orson Welles to Hollywood and was one of his stock company, making his first appearance in Welles' Lady from Shanghai. And then, of course, he like slimed up a succession of movies after that. He is just fantastic. The director is a guy named Lou Landers, a real journeyman whose claim to fame was not directing Detour, because he was the original director scheduled to direct what that we now consider to be the film noir classic Detour, until Edgar G. Ulmer took over that production. But if you see scripts of Detour, the early scripts all list Lou Landers as originally going to be the director. So it's a short film, it's a goofy film, and it's in black and white. So you get to see 3D in black and white, which is a rarity in itself. It's only 70 minutes long. The next film doesn't start until 9. So during the intermission, I highly recommend that you go out there and clean us out of the t-shirts and coffee mugs that the Film Noir Foundation has, because I don't want to ship them back to San Francisco. So I invite you, please, t-shirts and coffee mugs. For an extra 20 bucks after the t-shirt, you can get sign up with the fabulous Vince and Rosemarie Keenan, who are volunteering all this week to work the merch table. For an extra $20 above any product you buy, you give them your email and you get a year's subscription to the fabulous Noir City e-magazine, which is everything you ever want to know about film noir. And then after this, I will be back to introduce The Late Show, which is one of the best 3D movies ever made, Inferno, and there's an incredibly wild story about how that film came to be up on the screen here tonight. So, no more further ado. It's time to experience the third dimension. Ladies and gentlemen, Edmund O'Brien, the man in the dark. Thank you.